humbly hearted rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in a hope, in prayer, we're right here, in a hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, and we rise, all of the children rise, elders with wisdom rise, ancestors surround us, rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, and we rise, up from the wreckage, rise, with tears and with courage, rise, fighting for life, we rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here, in hope, in prayer, we're right here, and we rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise.
We're gonna keep moving though our limbs grow tired. We are gonna keep striving toward the light. We are gonna keep choosing to be true to life. We will fall and we will rise. We will fall and we will rise. We are gonna keep on moving, keep moving through our limbs grow tired. We are gonna keep on striving, keep on striving toward the light. We are gonna keep on choosing to be true to life. We will fall, and we will rise. We will fall, and we will rise.
So nice to see all of you today. Thank you for coming on your holiday weekend on a beautiful day after the storm. And we are here in covenant with one another. We come together in our promise to do our best, to live this life the best way we can, to treat one another with respect, and to work for peace and justice where we can. We don't have to all think alike to love alike. We don't all have, the same beliefs. So whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us in a spirit of mutuality, you are always welcome. We front load the service with a little bit of announcement stuff. Is our board person doing that, or maybe Susan?
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. Happy Ostara, a little late. We're glad you're here. Our volunteer of the month this month is Kelly Coffey. Who's right down here with the tech team pretty much every Sunday, and we so appreciate that. She is also a member of the board. She's doing one of the hard jobs. She's the treasurer, so we really appreciate. She was the decorator extraordinaire for the St. Patrick's Day party that we just had recently. So that's her most recent accomplishment, but she does a whole lot around here, and we appreciate it. Our giveaway the plate, once a month, we pick an organization from the wider community that aligns with our values to give our non-pledge contributions for that month too. And this month it is the Philadelphia Center, which is an HIV/AIDS resource center here in Northwest Louisiana. They help a lot of people with their medications, especially people who might not be able to afford them otherwise. They provide a lot of education and resources. They're just a wonderful resource in our community. So they will be our Giveaway the Plate recipient for the month of April. And next weekend, thank you, we will, on Sunday, we'll have our anniversary service. We will mark 76 years as a congregation in this community. We affiliated with the American Unitarian Association in 1950. And then, of course, when Unitarians and Universalists merged in 1961, this congregation became a Unitarian Universalist church. So we're going to honor that. We're also going to present our Emerson Award, which every year goes to an individual or organization from the wider community who, again, has done a lot to uphold the values that we hold dear. And in this case, it will be Alea Kawalda, who is president of the LSUS chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine. And she has raised a lot of awareness about the situation, particularly in Gaza, and has also raised money through their organization that has gone directly to aid citizens of Gaza. So we really want to honor her and make her welcome. And she will be speaking at our service next week. So please join us to welcome Alea. Today, right after the service, is an Easter egg hunt for our kids. And I think some of the adults might be hiding eggs in the next little while, and there will be lots of them to look for. And I just want to say thank you. The Easter Bunny and I thank you, because this is the first year that I haven't had to ask for eggs or even touch an egg. I had volunteers come up here this week and finish stuffing the eggs that we already had, but you were so good about recycling your eggs from last year that we didn't have to buy new little pieces of plastic, and that's just so wonderful. So thank you. I think that's it. Huh? Oh, along with the Emerson Award and celebrating our anniversary next week, we will have an in-gathering of new members. Everyone who has signed the book in the past 6 months, year, how long has it been? Anyway, we have just a formal ceremony where we welcome our new members. They can speak if they want to, they don't have to. If they don't want to get up in front of the congregation, that's okay too. It's just nice if people can see who you are, see your face, and welcome you. Yeah, put your name with your face and welcome you. So I think I really am done now. Thank you.
Later on in the service, we will have a ritual that is bread and grape juice. In the basket, there is some challah and also some Italian round bread. The Italian round is a little bit more chewy. But I will explain the ritual when we get to it, but I want everyone to know that it has no religious directed significance in this service unless you decide to bring one to it. It's open to anyone who cares to participate, and you will find out more about that when we get to that time. I think right now I would like to invite some choir members up. Let the pew hold you up. Take whatever a comfortable breath feels like for you. Let your feet and mind get to the same room for a little while. And let's enter a spirit of elevating and contemplating matters of worth, which is the Old English root of the word worship. We need a celebration that speaks the spring-inspired word about life and death, about us as we live and die through all the cycling seasons, days, and years. We need the sense of deity to crack our own brown, wintry husks and push life out of inner tombs and out of pain. Unless we move the season of the self and spring can come for us, the winter will go on, and Easter will remain a myth, and life will never come again, despite the fact of spring. But we can, we will, and we do. We live inside paradox. Humans generally don't like to admit it. We much prefer tidy, stable, comprehensible, logical ways of getting through the day. But paradox is woven into the fabric of this particular universe we inhabit. Excuse me. Light is both a particle and a wave. Imaginary numbers describe the math of physical phenomena. Love and grief are inextricably linked, as are rage and sorrow, suffering and compassion, life and death. Time itself is both linear and cyclical. Each person's life traces a single arc, yet patterns emerge and reemerge, fractal-like. To all of us, over time, fear always seems to return. Goodness knows terror finds its way back into the news. We always seem in need of help to roll back big stones that block our way. Yet we also come back to the hallelujah, even if its absence has gone on far longer than 40 days of Lent. We raise each other's spirits when our own sacred places seem empty. We anoint one another. We engage in a demanding faith that asks us to love the next world into being today. We are, quote, joyful though we have considered all the facts. The dark angel has passed over yet again. Winter has come to spring. It's Easter again, my friends. We practice resurrection, and we, you and I, are surrounded by a multitude who wish us well. We rise to the call however we can, whenever it comes. We rise like the spring, like this Easter, Passover, Ostara dawn, like hope and the Spirit, we rise. Would someone like to help with the first part of our chalice lighting?
celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the Church of the Open Mind. This is the Church of the Helping Hands. This is the Church of the Loving Heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other.
Thank you. For holy days on which we recall old stories, we light this flame. For Passover, which reminds us of the courage and strength of those seeking freedom in the past, we light this chalice. For Easter, which reminds us that love is our greatest challenge, we light this chalice. For our coming together here this morning in this sacred space, made sacred by our presence, we light the flame. For the opportunity to create community, to remember the past, to plan for the future, to be alive in our present, we light a flame of unity, of hope, and honoring the light of truth. Will you please rise in body or spirit and say with me the unison affirmation? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. Our opening hymn is O Day of Light and Gladness. And I invite you to remain standing if you're comfortable doing that. Thank you. Please be seated.
I brought my notebook up here with me so I'd remember that we're actually going to sing a song before we sing the kids out, and I'll bet you I will still need reminding about that when the time comes. What holidays are we celebrating at this time of year? Easter, right? And what's the story of Easter?
Well, they say that Jesus came from the dead.
They say that Jesus rose from the dead. That's right, and it's a very important holiday in the Christian tradition. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe a lot of different things about that phase of Jesus' life, but what we do believe is that he lived an incredible life on this earth. He had an incredible message, and that message hasn't died, right? That's something we can kind of unite around even as we think about the different ways that we think about Jesus. What's another holiday that's celebrated at this time of year? Passover. Somebody want to tell me that story? See, this is religious education in action. Repetition is the key to faith formation, so I want you to tell me the story today. Who would like to tell me the story of Passover? Short version. It celebrates when the Jews left Egypt and came to a new life of freedom in the Promised Land. It took, 40 years to get there. And what is the meal? What is the special meal that's eaten to remember this? A Seder, I heard it. And unleavened bread is a part of it. Matzah. We've made matzah in our religious education classes before because it's flat bread that doesn't have to rise. So it's bread that's really good when you need to escape, when you need to get out of town. You know, it's bread you can take with you. What else is on the Seder plate? An egg, right. What's the meaning of the egg? I heard it. Whoever said that, say it louder. New life. The egg symbolizes new life. So long before anybody celebrated Passover or Easter, there were people, particularly in what we think of now as Northern Europe, Germany and Northern Europe, that celebrated the seasons, that honored the changing of the seasons, that honored when the sun came back and everything got green again and colorful. And there's one particular goddess that kind of ties this holiday and Easter together. And do you remember her name? I heard it. Ostara. That's right, Jackson. That's okay. We all need a little help sometimes. So yeah, Ostara was the goddess that was kind of in charge of bringing back the spring. Only one year she was kind of late. And she found this bird, but the bird was practically frozen to death. And she felt so sad, and so she used all the power that she could muster to try to bring this bird back to life. And miraculously, the bird came back to life, only he'd been injured so badly and frozen so badly that he couldn't fly anymore. So instead of restoring the power of flight, she did something that to me seems maybe even a little bit harder than that, but she turned the bird into a rabbit, so that now it's an animal that is still swift, just without the power of flight, right? But it was also a rabbit that could do what? Lay eggs. Exactly. And that is where the tradition comes from. And so what's the connection of the egg to all three of these holidays? What is it? The Easter Bunny is definitely part of it. That came from that rabbit. But what is the thing that is common to all three of these holidays? Renewal, yeah. Rebirth. What thing? The egg. Thank you. The egg. That's what the egg. And so when somebody says, what's the deal with the eggs and Jesus then? What is the deal? Well, now you can tell them, right? You know the stories. Thank you. And we are going to sing a song that Reverend Barbara wrote. I'm going to invite Sally and Mary Ann to come and join me. The song is called Hearken, the Sun's Returning. Hearken, the sun's returning, life rising up again, elegantly transforming with water and fire and wind. Cleanse my heart, stir my soul, light the day and open me to hope. Hearken, the sun's returning, calling my spirit up, ends that bring new beginnings, with faith and hope and love. Cleanse my heart, stir my soul, light the way and open me to home. Cleanse my heart, stir my soul, light the way and open me to home. To home. Now let's sing the children of nature passage. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere.
Eternal Spirit of life, whose rising we witness bringing green growth, throwing out tiny tendrils that seek support, sprouting the thin twigs reaching for the nurturing sun. Be in us and among us as we gather this morning to celebrate the triumph of life over death. The body can be killed, but the spirit cannot be quenched. This morning we remember that pain, suffering, and death are not the last word, but can be scary underground passages to more abundant life. This morning we renew our dedication to act from our love rather than our fear. May we remember the eternal truth spun into the web of life. This following meditation is from Meg Barnhouse, a colleague who passed this year from this district of our tradition. But Meg wrote, "Today I have too many friends who are dying. Sometimes at the memorial service I feel dissatisfied and I'm the preacher in charge. I realize I can't figure out how to preach my view of resurrection. I know that people would want to hear it. I'm not worried about offending or confusing anyone. I treasure the ability to speak the plain truth as I see it. The plain truth, as no one knows for sure what happens when we die. That's not a very stirring thing to proclaim at a funeral, though honest as it is. We all have some kind of belief about it, even if that belief is that there's nothing after we die. The reason I haven't preached it yet is because when I call to mind my belief about the afterlife, it comes to me as a color. At a camping weekend with friends, we were nestled in a clearing on a mountainside. Most of the folks were around the campfire talking or dozing. Our chef was in the cooking tent grilling and gossiping with his fiancée and a couple of others. He wasn't wearing his high heels that day. He does sometimes, but only on camping weekends. I love those people, and they love me. Being surrounded by love is one fine way to spend time. I wandered off to the hammock and lay there looking up at the sky through early April leaves. I was soaked with the light, the blue of the sky, the green of the young leaves, the sun shining through them like stained glass. I thought, when I die, I want to have my ashes buried under this tree, so that for one spring after another, my body can be part of that particular green. I could feel my life flowing through the cells of a leaf, feel the leaf opening to the warmth and the light, feel myself part of that green, and I was happy. If that is my afterlife, I will be deeply happy. The hope of that afterlife doesn't take any leap of faith. I know it can happen. The minerals and the water in my body can be soaked up through the roots of that tree. A part of my body will unfurl green in the sun. My soul may be somewhere else. Sometimes I think my soul will float in an ocean of love. Will I recognize old friends, family who have gone on ahead? I don't know. I think I will know they are there. I will know this: there is not now, nor was there ever, any separation between us. I will know that they were with me the whole time, as strongly when I was alive as when I'm part of the leaves. The green of a new leaf, lit from behind with the spring sun, stays inside me. A glowing place of peace, the certainty that I will always be part of life. During a memorial service, I see that green. I feel that peace. It's hard to preach a color, but I'm going to think of a way. spring rises, right? Because there have been so many things in my life that I cannot adequately explain. I am more likely than possibly a number of you to believe things possible that ordinary science and reason might dispute. These things of which I speak are, of course, my own experiences, and as such, I'm unable to deny them, though I feel no need to convince anyone else of their truth. All of this to say, I believe, because I have no choice, that there are all manner of things beyond our comprehension and knowledge that are just as real as the things we can prove. Miracle stories are a part of every culture on the planet and throughout history, or myths that incorporate fantastic aspects. So let me admit that I don't have a problem thinking it possible there is truth in some of those stories. I think what has been extrapolated from them may well be misguided, but things happen that defy reason, that defy our current understandings or commonly accepted limits of reality. I want to share a couple of excerpts from a sermon by Heidi Cottam, who is one of the contributors to the Unitarian Universalist Association worship web site. She has several sermons there. This is just, I pulled these from one. And this was written 7 years ago, before the shift in our tradition from centering on the principles and sources to centering on our shared values. And that's a long story that that was information that was probably insider information. I apologize for that. Heidi Cottam begins this Easter sermon by reading a part of the story from Matthew, the first book of the Christian Testament, where Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, encounter an earthquake and an open tomb and what is described as an angel. They leave this site excited and frightened. The tomb was empty. The angel told them if they go on down the road, they're going to see the person they were looking for in the tomb. Anyway, Cottam then writes this: Unitarian Universalism, on the whole, wrestles with the Christian part of our identity each year at Easter. Even though our faith tradition specifically cites Jewish and Christian teachings as one of the sources from which we draw wisdom, and even though a large number of UUs identify as liberal Christians or followers of Jesus, we seem to face a bit of an identity crisis come Easter. She says, what do we do with a story of literal resurrection? Well, we believe. She goes on through a lot of things that cause her to support that statement, but after a bit she wraps it up with this. This is what the story of the resurrection offers us: hope. Hate and betrayal do not and will not prevail, says that resurrection. Hope will be restored. Lives will be restored. We will emerge from the bleakest of absolutes to exist on in the glory of love. I think this is why the resurrection is one of the most important stories in the Christian tradition. I think this is why Unitarian Universalists celebrate Easter joyfully, even if it gives us some kind of collective identity crisis. She says the answer to what we do with a story of literal resurrection is believe. Believe in hope. All the things that story could have taught us, we didn't learn. We didn't learn the senselessness of scapegoating. We didn't learn that good will have a final word. We didn't learn that selflessness is not wasted. Sacrifice of an innocent man to teach us the senselessness of scapegoating seems to have fallen along the wayside, even as a story with a moral. My answer to that is we follow suit and defy gravity. We rise. We rise regardless of odds and fears and appearances. We rise in service of truth in any way that we find it. The truth of transcending, transforming love that makes a difference in people's lives and beyond our own. We rise for those who can't. We rise for goodness, kindness, justice, wisdom, peace, the planet, future generations, in service to the spirit of life. We rise and we keep rising. It's time for me to explain our ritual. There will be two individuals that stand here and here with a basket of bread. If you care to participate, you are welcome to line up along one of these walls. You will meet in the middle, and beginning with me, I will have a chalice with juice in it. Whoever comes to me first will say to me, "From you I receive." They will dip their bread in the juice, eat the bread, and I will hand them the chalice and say, "To you I give." Then the person they meet here in the middle will turn to them and say, "From you I receive," and dip their bread and eat it. And the person who was holding the chalice will hand them the chalice and say, "To you I give." And it goes back and forth. It may sound a whole lot more complicated than it really is. And it's okay if you don't do it perfectly. And I can help feed you the words if you don't remember which ones you're supposed to say when you get here. There will also be a basket and a chalice that come out to the people who may have mobility challenges or just aren't up to the trek, so that you can also participate. One more cycle of life. As long as our energy is in the universe, we give and receive from each other. Our closing hymn is "Lo, the Earth Awakes Again." And I'd invite you to rise and by your spirit, please. Please be seated. Mindful of our highest aspirations, bound by common faith and purpose, and yet beginning with ourselves as we are, let us take one more step together in our unending quest for dignity, justice, and love. From despair that is sapping our spirits, damaging our souls, and hurting our hearts, we need to be resurrected in hope, faith, and trust. Violence is shortening our lives and robbing us of our joy. We need to be resurrected in peace and its many blessings. Selfishness is tearing our social fabric, hiding us from one another, turning us inward. We need to be resurrected into generosity, compassion, and open-heartedness. Fear is pitting us against each other, stripping our delight, poisoning our relationships. We need to be resurrected into courage and connection. Injustice is breeding despair, violence, selfishness, fear, and injustice among us and among our children. We need to be resurrected in love. Today, may we be resurrected. Jesus' resurrection is a symbol and a promise that we are redeemed and that death's dominion is not the final end. On Easter, the deep magic breaks through. Proclaim and sing that love's redeeming work is done. And then go back to that very work. Always with love, always with faith that love wins. Choir.
journey into peace and the brightness of day. Starlight, guide your journey into peace and the brightness of day.
Go in peace, go and serve love with love, wrapped in love. Be present for each other and yourself, and understand that spring can be in us today too. Amen, Ashe, blessed be, so be it.